Okay, everybody, I'm so excited today because I am joined by Daniel Radcliffe, aka Craig, aka Prince Chauncey, aka Reverend Ezekiel Brown, and Steve Buscemi, aka God, aka Edward Shitshoveler, aka Benny the Teen. How you guys doing today?
Very good. Great intro comprising all of the characters. Nicely done.
Thank you. So Daniel, did you find any of Prince Chauncey or Craig in Reverend Ezekiel Brown?
I think there's probably some similarities between Craig and Ezekiel Brown in their sort of earnestness and the sort of sincerely wanting to work to make the world better. But I think Craig is a lot more sort of helpless and nervous than Ezekiel Brown is. I mean, Zeke is not, he's not he has nerves as well, but I think he's a lot more of a capable human being. And the great thing about him as opposed to Chauncey is that Chauncey was too psychotically stupid to ever learn or grow from anything that happened to him. So it's nice playing a character who is like affected by the world around him.
Yeah, and that's what's so impressive, seeing you do all these different type of characters. And same for you, Steve. Steve, did you find any famous figures or characters in media that inspired your portrayal of Benny the Teen?
I mean, obviously the character is, loosely sort of based, or not even based, but there's like a joke about, like Benny the Teen. There's Billy the Kid, and but I didn't really want to base it on anybody real. I just, we have such wonderful writers, and I just love, the character that they came up with, and that, besides, I mean, I think all three of the characters I've played now, they're not, none of them are like overly bright, but they all have something like these character traits that are just really really interesting. I like that this character. I think this is like the most engaged. I mean, God was sort of on his own and sort of
Right.
disinterested and like not knowing, like in way over his head. Eddie, I loved because he was a family man, but very simple and trusting and just sort of just trying to get by. Whereas Benny, he was a real hot shot. He's still living in his glory days, and I think he still has a lot to offer, and he does help them, along the way. But he's very selfish, and ultimately he's out for himself.
Yeah, and that's what's so impressive to me about the show is like just you explain that how like in depth these characters are. And I think people also fall in love with characters and then miss them the next season. So I'm wondering, will we ever see some kind of connection between the seasons or maybe little Easter eggs? Has that ever been kind of discussed? Daniel, maybe you can answer that.
I mean, there's a couple of what I would describe as like Easter eggs in this season later on, but I don't think we will ever get to the point where we are linking them directly. But I also don't know. There might be some genius piece of writing that one of our guys has up his sleeve that can somehow do that. But I also no, I mean, part of the joy of it is that it changes all the time. So and if there is a theme that we have, it's just a group of people working together against seemingly impossible odds, and odds that are in fact impossible, but trying anyway. That's sort of become the thematic link, at least.
Yeah, I definitely see that. And I love that answer. And Steve, I love the episode you directed in season 2. Do you enjoy being behind the camera as much as you do in front of it? And are you going to be directing any episodes this season?
Yeah, I directed 2 episodes this season, which was nice because I mean I don't get to direct a lot, and every time I do it, I feel like I'm doing it again for the first time. So to be able to do two, like during the second one, I think I was a little bit more relaxed, but we don't have a lot of time to shoot. And then plus I'm playing a character in it. And so that's always a challenge. But it means I get to work with all the actors. It means I, really get to and be involved in every aspect of the production. And I really do enjoy that. So I hope to do more of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you do an amazing job, obviously, at both. And Daniel, that's going to come with the question for you. Would you ever consider directing? I think people would love to see you kind of take a
No.
shot behind the camera.
I definitely would. I definitely want to. I think from the first thing I direct will probably be something I'm not also in, just because I feel like as a first time director, I will be so worried and nervous about that I'll really want to focus on it. But yeah, 100%. I've been around people directing for so long now that I feel like I hopefully have learned enough that I could bring something to the table, and like yeah, I would really love to at some point.
Oh, that's really exciting to hear. I would love to see that. And Steve, I think you could answer this question, but when fans see both of your names as executive producers of the show, I think most people always go, "What does it really mean? Like, what does that mean for you guys on this show in particular?"
Great question.
Well, I mean, we have access. We have, I think we could be as involved as we want. Certainly during production, when we're acting so much, it's hard, to like to also do that role. But mainly, I think with Dan and I, it's especially in the third season, was just getting in on more of the conversations, with the writers, and just being consulted and just looking at the episodes as we were as they were being edited, and then I just try and be helpful in whatever way I can. If I mean, I just make myself available, but I also don't want to, I'm not interested in kind of being like overpowering, saying, no, we need this and we have to do that and I want this. It's Yeah, I'm just really there to support.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing. I think once it gets to production, you're mostly just focusing on the acting, and yeah, and it means you get access and input in pre-production, both with if it's with casting stuff or it's with just how the scripts are coming together. You're in a position that most actors aren't in terms of like getting that level of consultation stuff. So that's lovely. But yeah, once things start, you kind of just focus on the acting.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer to like life's biggest mystery. So thank you guys for that. Before I let you guys go, what would you say to fans to get them excited about season 3? Like, what's your favorite thing about this season?
It's honestly like I loved watching everybody else in their parts this year. Like I feel like this season just has got something fantastic for everyone. And I'm really excited for people to see John Bass and more of him in this season than I think people have seen before. And there's a part for him this year that is just spectacular, and he really nails it.
Yeah, I think I think what the show does so well is the relationships, and putting these characters in situations or positions that, they're at great odds to overcome, and this is no exception. And this season gets pretty dark towards the end. The characters are forced into a situation that they have to do something horrible if they want to survive. And I will mention that in episode 4, I think it is, Dan has an incredible dance number that is not to be missed.
Oh, that's amazing. That's breaking news right here.
There's a dance, there's a costume, it's a whole thing. One of the
Amazing. So everyone, you're hearing it from them first, that Miracle Workers out Oregon Trail on Tuesday on TBS. Make sure to check it out. Daniel, Steve, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to talk to you guys again in the future one day.
Thank you so much, Steve. Take care. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Have a great one.